Hello and welcome to the UKSIF Leadership Podcast and our very special Advent Calendar series where we will spend 12 days breaking down what we've been working on, big moves and big news in the sustainable finance sector. I'm Liza Hartley and today I'm joined by Anna Warren and Isabel Johnson for day 3 where we'll be discussing 3 new team members this year and, well, that's us 3. Anna, Events Administrator at UKSIF, joined in January 2024, and I joined as the Media Relations Manager just a few weeks later. And Isabel is our newest joiner, having taken up her post also as an Events Administrator in October. So let's get straight into it. I'm here alongside Anna and Isabel from our events team. Anna started, as I said, all the way back in January with me, and Isabel started in October. And it's been a really wild time to join UKSIF, I think it's fair enough to say. We've had one of the biggest years in history for global elections, with 70 nations around the world heading to the polls, including the UK. We've got a new government, the first Labour government for 14 years, and they have come in hot with lots of changes. Meanwhile, UKSIF has had to stay ahead of it all, running over 30 events, including 5 flagship conferences, launching 4 policy reports to get sustainable finance into the party manifestos and into the government agenda, SDR reports, polling and analysis, members wanting to speak on panels about every conceivable sustainable subject matter. And then just when you thought there was too much content, too much going on, well, the US election came and hit us like an asteroid right in the middle of our leadership summit. So, Anna, let's start with you. You've done a full event cycle. How have you found it?
Yeah, it's been really great to see the event cycle all the way through the year. Started off with Ownership Day, which was my first flagship event, and just finished off with Leadership Summit a couple of weeks ago. It was really great to see the full range of events and the different topics we cover throughout the different events. It was also really great to see how the discussions evolved over the year. Some of the topics we cover in multiple of our conferences, and it was really great to see how the industries evolved over the year. It was really great to meet so many of our members throughout the year as well, from a range of different events. So for the likes of our newest event, which is our member socials, our networking event for our membership, it's really nice to kind of have those smaller events to get to know people. So yeah, a big range of events throughout the year, but it's really great to see them all through now.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know from my perspective, the member socials are an amazing innovation, and everybody's really been enjoying them so far. Isabel, you will get your turn to come and experience the joy of the member
I'm so excited.
But I am keen, obviously, to hear from you too, because you've just joined in time for Leadership Summit in November. How was it being dropped in the deep end, arguably our biggest event?
Honestly, I feel like that's just how I learn best. I'm so glad I got to kind of opportunity to join in our busiest period of having a chance to be a part of the biggest event. I was honestly really lucky to have such a great team with me, Sally and Anna, honestly, coaching me all the way through. And I did think the day went so fast. Everyone was so lovely. We had a beautiful venue at Savoy Place. And honestly, just a chance to kind of get to know the kind of content we're producing, the kinds of speakers I got to kind of be introduced to, and just in general, the day just flew by. So honestly, I couldn't have put it any better myself.
And Liza, you've obviously been charged with growing a relatively new function at UKSIF. How are you finding it, and what's the reception been?
Wow, I mean, it's been immensely cool building out a media function from not quite the ground up, but from a more nascent state into something that's much more fully fledged and has a lot more resource, is hugely rewarding. And obviously, it's kind of every comms professional's dream, right? Get a little bit of control and some creative free reign. So that's been awesome. One of the most important things we built out, without a doubt, is our rapid response commentary function. That means we're able to give nimble, reactive analysis to the news as it comes in. What's that led to? Well, it's led to a bunch of coverage. It's led to us being able to expand our reach and the subject matters that we're able to comment on. It means that when we hear stories about, well, the rumor mill begins to churn about the ZEV mandate, the zero emissions vehicle mandate, being watered down, and some of the lobbying that we were aware was being directed towards Louise Haigh and Johnny Reynolds. We were able to jump on that and immediately give our 2 cents and pitch in and tell the press what the investor perspective on that was. Spoiler alert, it's pretty disastrous. It's a bad idea for investor confidence. So it's been hugely fun, and I have felt immensely supported building out the media function, both from a rapid response and an op-ed and a messaging perspective, and even doing a little bit of broadcast. So it's been a wonderful year. Certainly, there's plenty more that I want to do, and I would advise anybody listening to watch this space.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say you are genuinely one of the busiest people in the office. Like, you do such a fantastic job. And
it's
obviously you both,
the press, they won't leave me alone.
Yeah, so you both have now been here basically a year. So I guess my question to you guys is, like, what's the coolest thing you've done so far at UKSIF?
So I think it's hard to kind of pinpoint one. We've had so many amazing opportunities over the year, but I would say for me, it's probably launching the opinion page. So for anybody that doesn't know, our opinion page publishes articles which include new research, challenging concepts, ideas on the future of sustainable finance, and new thinking to help inform and challenge our members and wider society on the future of the industry and its role in the sustainability transition. So this opinion page launched in September after building the idea up with our wonderful industry development committee, and we now have posted articles which cover a wide range of topics from across our membership. For me, it's a really great way to get engaged with some of our members and really make sure we're pushing out what our members do. It's also great because our events are a key membership benefit. So this is a way to showcase what our members are doing for the wider industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Liza?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I would say the coolest thing I have done working at UKSIF has been presenting our findings on the ESG backlash at London Climate Action Week. Now, this was an event that we ran and we invited peers from similar organizations across the sustainable finance and climate action space. And the turnout was incredible. We had between 30 and 40 people come and see us for some lunch and some discussion and a speech that I delivered, essentially giving the breakdown of research that we had been conducting for, at that point, 6 months into the origins and specific nature of the ESG backlash as it occurs in the UK. Now, I was presenting to professionals that I really admire, from Greenpeace, Influence Map, Share Action, IIGCC, peer organizations that I look to as examples of good work, that I look to for inspiration, and some, colleagues that I have and peers that I've worked with closely in the past. So I was hugely proud to be able to do that. That was a wonderful experience for me, and it speaks to the trust that UKSIF puts in its young and sort of up and coming leaders, and what a wonderful thing that is. It gave me immense confidence. It also was a testament to our own expertise and the niche that we've created for ourselves in the big, broad, thematic, challenging subjects that we choose to engage with, one of which is the ESG backlash. And the amount of research and listening and consultation that we've done in relation to it has put us in a position where we can actually instruct our sector and peer organizations on this subject. So again, that was a huge privilege, and it was London Climate Action Week, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we've all, the three of us, we've all come from quite different backgrounds, and myself, I'm have held previous roles doing press for tech companies. Anna, you've come straight in from a degree in journalism and politics. And Isabel, you've come from a year abroad following a degree in English and history. Perhaps we can talk about what attracted each of us to UKSIF. Shall we start with you, Isabel?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, and I think I can't speak directly for Anna, but I feel like she probably agrees with me a little bit. Like, this is like our first job after university, and like with that search, that job search, I think a lot of people relate to this. Like, there's this kind of general anxiety and like that feeling of like feeling like an imposter into kind of any industry you emerge into, being like kind of like brand new to it all. And you know, you're kind of just in no man's land of like, where do you place yourself and kind of what do you value in finding a job? And I think UKSIF made that just so easy for me in terms of like, what am I looking for and what am I looking to get out of like work, and just like immediately feeling so aligned with like the organization's mission and ethos. And I think that's pretty rare to find in your first job. So I just feel really lucky that I'm able to kind of come to work every day motivated and kind of feeling really like I believe in what UKSIF does. And so I just think, yeah, kind of a sense of pride with it, really, in feeling kind of a compassion for this growing industry.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think finding a job straight out of university where we get to work alongside a team of people who are all really passionate about achieving the same goal is super motivating. And I think the fact we're such a small team doing some really amazing stuff is really exciting, and it means we get to be excited for each other. A win for one of our teams is a win for the whole company, and I think that's really exciting. It's really nice to be a part of. And yeah, I would say just to be able to work on a topic or an issue that I've been so passionate about for years is really definitely, as
rewarding.
Said, yeah, really rewarding, and we feel really lucky to be able to work in a company which shares the same mission. Liza, what about you?
That's really nice to hear from both of you guys. I actually completely agree. I have always really cared very deeply about the climate and cared very deeply about sustainability. I didn't really realize that that was something that I could just do for my job all the time. And so that was a very exciting realization to come to. The story of how I got this job is very funny. I was complaining to a friend who worked in press at the Green Finance Institute. She is the most amazing, wonderful, talented person. And I was complaining to her about how cool her job sounded and how fun it must be to just be able to work in sustainability. And she said, well, if you really want to get into this area, I know an amazing organization that's doing incredible things in sustainability and sustainable finance, and they're hiring for a media relations manager. And so she actually sent me this job through, and it was very serendipitous. And I applied, and the rest is history. So I quite agree that sort of sometimes things fall into place, and you can kind of be. I feel immensely lucky, and I think that's what I've heard from both of you guys too. It's been a very, very lucky journey that's got me here. So with that note, I think it's time to conclude. I think we've hit our time. Thank you for joining us on the third day of UKSIF-mas, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for day 4. Remember to like and subscribe to be the first to hear our episodes, and thank you so much to my guests, Anna and Isabel.